Alright, so it's like 10 a.m. I want to get this video straight out the way. Why Metera needs help. Ramble Fantasy versus, you know, originally when the game started out, we all thought that she was going to be pretty strong. And as the game developed, like we learned to play it, she became more and more rare. More people started dropping her. Just wanted to explain why. And most importantly, how we can fix her, what her weaknesses are, how exploitable they are in comparison to the other characters in the game. So, Metera is like your classic zoning character with a bit of set play. You know, you got your arrows set up with butterflies. Do some neat stuff like that. Yeah, overall, just pretty simple to understand character, what her game plan is. She wants to keep you away, wants to set these up, set up the hit song, set up the chip, and if she so happens to get a knockdown, then she runs her game. But in comparison to like the other characters, she doesn't have a DP, and DPs are incredibly important because they help you expose big pressure. You know, in the case of Percival, sometimes he can straight up expose a fireball game. So I'm going to use Fairy as an example. She has a DP, you know, pretty important. You know, it was recently nerfed this patch, but still a strong option to have people get off of you and respect you on defense. Metera doesn't really have that option. The best one she has is Dense Caress. Well, Dense Caress is extremely good for its own right, you know, being an anti-air reversal, pretty good. Except this is hot garbage. Don't ever use it on defense. It's incredibly slow compared to other Super Skybound arts, and as much space as it covers, it takes a very long time for the projectiles to start reaching out and hitting people. So that's not very good. And in the case of, you know, Fairy, she can just straight up jump over it. So with these defensive options, the lack of defensive options in mind, but you're probably thinking, yo, just give her DP. No, that is the laziest solution to the problem, and I don't want that for her. I don't want her to just have a DP, we're done. That doesn't fix the other issues she has in her kit. Doesn't make her more engaging. It's just a very easy way to, you know, give her a pat on the back. Giving her a DP is pretty dumb, because a lot of the mix-up heavy characters in this game really don't need DPs. Zoe in particular, you know, for the overall sake of balance, because, you know, Zoe doesn't have a DP, but she seems pretty interesting as the game keeps developing. You learn new stuff with her. You know, she seems alright, but struggles on defense. Lancelot, Fairy, for example, these are other very mix-up heavy characters. You know, want to run the Oki, want to be Lancelot in particular wants to be in your face, apply pressure, make you guess, you know, take a risk. You don't need those characters to have a DP. And I don't want Metera to fall into that category where we just, oh, you give her DP and we're done. No. Her buttons, you know, for mashing out of things, you know, this is her fastest one. Clocks out at 6 frames startup, you know, -1 on block. No, it's not the best jab in the world, but it's okay. This can low profile under some projectiles. Comes up pretty fast. Also hits low. This is also your only plus on block move, by the way. So in a game where, you know, pressure is pretty important, this is like your best option. +2, that's it. Alright, let's get on to stage sizing and, you know, how pressure game works. Because, you know, Metera wants to, you know, stay away from her opponent. She usually likes to, you know, send arrows out, you know, play this game. When they start getting close, you know, if there's an opening, you know, send this out, and block it, up, on the way. The more she does that, the more on the screen she has limited options to start running. So if my opponent is running at me, that's like 2 backsteps from round start. I'm basically in the corner. One block string, I'm in the corner. One block string, I'm in the corner. Now, Metera wants to jump out. You just wait here. Like, round here. You wait for her to jump, then you hit her. She tries to run at you, or dodge, hit her with your sweep. You can play so patiently versus this character and get a lot of return. If you want to play a bit more aggressively, then that depends on your character. But for just general purpose fighting her, you know, the stage sizing in Grand Blue doesn't help her with her zoning game. Now you can't just straight up change the stage sizing, fix the issue. But that's also another reason why she's kind of struggling at the moment. Limitations on her zoning game. You know, Farsi, very good button. You know, I love pressing this. So good. I'll block. But if this mechanic didn't exist, then I would probably say this is one of the best buttons in the game. You know, it forces her game plan really well. But most people are just going to do, you know, dodge it. Fairy, will you dodge it, please? Thank you. I can't cancel anything. So, on block or on hit, you can cancel into arrows. You know, arrow range, butterfly, great ball stuff. You know, backdashing, and if you really want to be, you know, cheeky and greedy, you can approach. You can do all that with just one button, one touch. But at the same time, in Grand Blue, what you do to projectiles is this. You mash that. So it makes it very difficult for her to run her game, and it leaves her very open. And at the same time, if they try to do it, they also have rolling on reaction. So like from the mid range, I want to poke here. Oh my god, Fairy. So I want to poke here, for example. She could just roll through it. And now I'm still in recovery. I can't spot dodge. I can't spot dodge cancel or anything like that because I'm a whiff. And you know, I either get hit or the pressure starts. And as we said before, she struggles on defense. So that's when you start snowballing her. In other places of zoning, you know, arrows, same boat. Once you roll something in Grand Blue, it makes sure that the cooldown is a lot longer. So, for example, if Fairy would have, you know, just spot dodge all my arrows, so I'm gonna set her to spot dodge everything. I can't cancel that into anything. I can't cancel that into another arrow. Even if it's a different arrow, I can't cancel that. It doesn't make any sense why I shouldn't be able to cancel into another arrow when the other one is already with me. Low arrow and high arrow can't be individually cancelled on whiff, and you're still locked out of that arrow cooldown. The best you can do is Great Fall, and in certain matchups Great Fall is not advised. You know, in the Lance matchup, you know, he can Gorilla Blade you. Charlotta matchup, she can ball you straight in the face. You know, grand boot. Now everyone likes talking about the boot, why it's so good. You know, you do all of that, and she's very limited once you start dodging and applying your pressure in different ways. Now, another issue that this character has is that no other character has, to my knowledge, not even Wayne, who people consider like the worst in the game, is this. You can run up to her, jump at her, do this. If the Metera player is not utilizing EX Great Fall or has it on cooldown, you can just jump at her, or she doesn't have Dense Crest. And if she has Dense Crest, that's avoid jumping right together. As you see, 1C, 2C, both of her, you know, commissional anti-airs are not air unblockable. So if I were to do the same thing to Fairy, you know, I'm gonna set her to match this button, because that's her dedicated anti-air. If I were to run up there and do the same thing, I get hit. Now I'm gonna set her to close M stuff. I'm gonna jump at her. Actually, we're not gonna do that, but, you know, same concept applies. Everyone else's anti-airs are air unblockable, and it makes it very rough for her to deal with it, especially if EX Ray falls on cooldown, don't have Dense Caress, you essentially can't do anything about them jumping in on you. And non-air unblockable anti-airs invite people to jump in on you, which is bad if you're a zoner with bad defense, which Metera is. So, now that we've talked about her issues, how do we make this character better? How do we make her, you know, a bit stronger? Varsity needs to be, all the properties that I mentioned before should be able to happen on lift. You know, these are just ideas that I'm spitting out. You know, arrow change. I remember in the Zoe patch, there was a lot of controversy about a certain arrow change that would let you do, you know, just tiger all of these. Special cancel them really early, you know, go high shot. You can't really do high shot, low shot, you have to do low shot, high shot. Let them all be interchangeable, you know, do your arrow stuff, and if you really want to, like, push it a bit further, let her special cancel, arrow, great ball on lift, but that's a bit much. So just let her tiger, you know, all that good stuff for her zoning game, let it happen. You can keep her being a glass cannon, by all means, because, you know, that's just the risk you take playing Metera, but her zoning game needs to be a lot more rewarding if she's going to have subpar buttons, subpar frame data, and, you know, overall subpar, you know, strengths. That being said, I still think she's pretty decent. She's by no means the worst character in the game. She's no Sora's. She's pretty solid. It's just that it takes a lot of work to play her. Solo play her in bracket, and I think her being as rare as she is probably the only thing having people lose to the character, because you don't really see a lot of Metera players. So that's like, I feel like that's the one thing holding them back, but at the same time, this bot needs this. You know, very rough for her to deal with, you know, talk to me in the comments. What do you guys think about this video? What do you guys think about my opinions on the subject? You think I'm wrong? You think I'm right? Do you agree that Metera needs to be fixed just a bit? Or do you think Metera's fine the way she is? Do you like my suggestions? Do you hate them? You know, tell me. I want to start a discussion, because, you know, I'm crying out for buffs, man. I want to be pre-patch Zeta. I'm the pre-patch Zeta main right now because everyone got good, and I realized, oh man, this button right here, this guard button, is causing issues in my game plan, dude. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Really appreciate it. You know, follow me on Twitter. I'm sure I'll plug that somewhere. And yeah, talk to me in the comments. I'll answer any questions. Let's get a discussion going. I'll see you guys in another video, or maybe I won't. I probably will. Bye. Hey guys, Future Yami here. Just wanted to bring this part of the discussion into the video before we get started on the rest of it, because I don't feel like recording it all again. I just wanted to talk about mid-screen return, and why for Metera it's not exactly the strongest, because as you see here, basic BNB, you get 17%, but your opponent's right next to you. You don't really want that for your game plan, and it restands them. Well, that being neat and all, I think most Metera players would really want just a way to knock people down without having to spend Metera, because in comparison, that sends them so far away back into the corner, and now start your game. Same thing could be one from Metera. You know, you have to spend an arrow cooldown in order to get that, which is very rough. A solution, easy solution, is just make the arrows, you know, knock down on hit. Or maybe you don't want it to you know, knockdown on hit just for the sake of neutral game. You know, maybe have it do something else, but I think that's the best solution I could come up with for mid-screen return in terms of like how her game plan functions, because this isn't the best return. You really want to be away from people, and you have to spend resources to get away from people. While this does give you an opportunity to start your offense, you have to keep in mind that she's still a zoner, and unless it's like a very favorable situation, you really don't want to go all in big butterfly stuff. So yeah, that's the other thing I wanted to talk about that I didn't put in the video. So yeah, we're just gonna go to past me now, and yeah, that's about it. Just mid-screen return, let her knock down like her, like this. Because this, and being able to set up here, is way better than this. That's like the best you're doing. Anyways, this tangent is over. On to the rest of the